Today, we are going to be beginning our second season in our Panther rebuild. Now, if you guys didn't see the last video, I'll make sure to leave a link at the top of the screen now for you guys to go check that out. But if you don't care to check out the last video and you don't care getting anything spoiled to you, I am going to go check out our roster right now to show where we left off. So let's head to our lineup and we can see exactly where we left off at the end of last season. We did get bring in a wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, and Ted McMillan is now up to an 82 overall. Our offensive line is looking pretty solid. We still need a tight end, but other than that, I mean, Chuba Hubbard up to an 86 overall. We do need to see some improvement as far as overall goes for Bryce Young. Hopefully this year he can make the leap. And then as far as the defensive side goes, we're still looking pretty good here. The only thing that we really need on defense is a will linebacker. And then really, I mean, I definitely want to grab an explosive edge rusher. So I think what I'm going to do today, I've done a lot of thinking since the last video on this, and I think the one thing that I want to do is I want to go in and I want to make a big trade for an edge rusher. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head to the trade center and I'm going to go. I think I'm at the point now where I realized after one season that drafting in Madden is not really the best thing to do. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than wasting my time, drafting and developing players, I think I'm just going to take all my picks and just trade them away and try to get as many good players as I can up front. So I think I'm going to use my couple of first round picks if I need to and try to just bring in an elite edge rusher because we still have the 36 million in cap space. So we have the cap room to work. So I think we can make a trade happen, couple of first round picks. We should be able to land an elite edge rusher. So that's going to be my mission today. I'm going to go scroll through these teams and I'm going to pick an edge rusher that I think is on a very good contract for his overall. And hopefully a guy that has at least a couple of years left so we don't have to worry about re-signing him right away. So I'm going to go scroll through all these players. And I think I'm just going to make a big splash trade here right before our first preseason game. All right, you know what? I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to try to land Myles Garrett. I mean, he's still got 5 years left on his contract. His cap hit's only 24 million. He is 30 years old, so he's a little bit older, but that also might make him a little bit easier to get. But he is got 5 years left on his contract. I mean, that's somebody that I'm not going to have to re-sign for a long time. I think I might try to swing this move right now. He is a little bit older, but it looks like he is the best option. It's either going to be him or maybe Micah Parsons from the Packers. I mean, I can take a look at Micah again and see. I mean, he's 99 overall. He's got 4 years left in his contract, and he is 3 years younger. So maybe try to swing Micah Parsons. I'm not sure. I mean, it's either Micah or Miles at this point. There's really nobody else that's worth it to me. Everyone else seems to be kind of on a higher contract. But actually, you know what? Maybe I will go Micah because he has a lower cap hit and he is younger. So you know what? I'm gonna try to swing a trade for Micah Parsons here. And I'm drafting in Madden is great and everything, but I'm not too interested in it. Let's see where we're at with this. All right, that's actually a pretty solid starting point. I'll try 2 first round picks. Still not enough. But I'm willing to give up the house. I will give up all of our first round picks if we have to make this happen, which it looks like we're gonna have to. Let me see. I mean, that's 3. I think I can only give up 3, right? First round picks. Can I do 2029 round 1? Okay, we already had 2029 round 1. All right, so I'm gonna have to give up. I think that's as far as I go, right? Yeah, 3. All right, so let me see. Let me make this work. I'll have to give up second round pick and then maybe like this year's like a 4th rounder. Let's see if this works. Trade is still declined, so I guess I'm gonna have to just give up a second rounder to make this work. I think this should do it. All right, perfect. So we just unloaded draft picks, but we did pick up Micah Parsons to add to our defense. I think that's a huge pickup for us. I mean, the pressure on the quarterback is going to be so huge for us. Let me look at our roster, or excuse me, look at our depth chart. I'll auto reorder everything so we can get our best possible defense out there. Now let's take a look. Where is we're on the wrong page here. Look at our lineup. Take a look at our defense now. With the addition of Micah Parsons, I mean, this is already looking so much better. We still do need a linebacker, but I think we can. I think we can live without one for now. We still need a linebacker, and then we do still need a tight end. So those are two positions that we do need to fill. I think I'm gonna go check the trade market now for a tight end, but this is the year. This is the year I think I want to go all in. I mean, with if we could stack up our defense like this, we got a lot of young players on offense that we just signed. We got a couple of young guys on defense that we just signed. I mean, we got a pretty good starting point here for a team. And I think if I can fill just these last two holes, the Sam linebacker spot, and I can fill the tight end spot, I think we're going to be in a pretty good position to compete this season. And then if not, we still have most of these guys are under contract for next year. So we're still going to be in a good spot. I mean, I'll look and I'll see who we need to re-sign. Because if we do need to re-sign some people, it might be worth just keeping the roster we have. But if we got guys under contract for a couple of seasons, at least our key guys, I think it's going to be worth trying to just bring in as much talent as we can and load up for this particular season. But let me go take a look at our current contract situation, see who's going to be up at the end of this season. And if we're in a pretty good spot and all of our key players are still under contract next year, I think I'm going to go back to the trade market and try to land a good tight end. All right, so it seems like Patrick Queen and Jermaine Johnson are really our only two, really good players that are going to be up at the end of this season. Jermaine Johnson, I could probably let him go. Patrick Queen is somebody that I can probably re-sign, so I might put Jermaine Johnson on the trade block just to see if we can get anybody to replace him. We did just bring in Micah Parsons, another edge rusher. So I'll probably add Jermaine Johnson to the trade block, and then Patrick Queen is the one guy that I will try to re-sign. But everyone else, I mean, as far as depth goes, everybody else on here is pretty much just that, just a depth player. Our kicker and our punter, not a big deal. We can bring another one, and then obviously Legit will accept his 5th-year option. But I mean, Jermaine Johnson, I'll probably put him on the trade block because if we can get a trade for Jermaine Johnson where we can get another young edge rusher to replace him, just swap edge rushers, a guy that's still under contract for another couple of years. That'll be worth doing, but I'm gonna try to keep Patrick Queen. I think he'll be the one guy that I do spend money on. But Jermaine Johnson probably gonna have to go, so I'll put him on the trade block. We do have to make tough decisions. One of those guys is gonna have to go. So I am gonna add him to the trade block now, and then I will go explore the trade market for tight ends, and I will see if we can bring in a good tight end. But for now, I'm gonna add him to the trade block. And we should be able to get offers for him over the next couple of weeks. And we'll see if we can get somebody. Hopefully we can just get a 1-for-1 where a team offers us another edge rusher for a pretty, that's under contract for at least a couple more seasons, so we don't have to worry about re-signing. But I think at this point we rebuilt the team to a very good point after one season. I think that it's time to just go all in and try to see if we can make a couple of splash moves and really compete this year. Let me go check out the trade market. I'll see if I can bring in a pretty good tight end. All right, so it seems like all the tight ends all the good tight ends at least, have a pretty sizable cap hit. So I think I'm just going to sim the way that we are right now, and I'm going to see what kind of trade offers we get for Jermaine Johnson. And I'll probably just ride it out with the roster that we have at this point. I mean, I'm just going to sim to the regular season. There's no real reason to sim each preseason game individually. Not really a big deal. But I do think at this point it is worth just loading up. Our team is great. I mean, we're gonna keep upgrading our players as we go along as well. I mean, look, Bryce Young's already got 2 upgrade tokens. All these guys are just gonna keep improving as the year goes on. We're already a pretty high overall team, 85 overall team. I definitely think that we can compete this year. Let's check out our trade offers. We do have some offers for Jermaine Johnson, so let's review. Let's see if we can get any good ones. Nothing really good there. A good left tackle, but we already have a left tackle, so we don't really need it. Jordan Davis and a couple of picks from the Eagles. That's not a bad offer. I think for now I'm going to decline these offers. None of those offers really seem to be what I'm after, so I'm going to decline those offers. And then let's sim a couple of games this season. We'll sim this first game, and we'll see if we get any see if we get any more offers, see if we can come out of week 1 with a win. All right, very nice. They start the season 1-0, and we do have some more trade offers. Let's take a look at these. Let's see if they're any better than what we had before. Not what I'm looking for there. Not what I'm looking for there. Not really what I'm looking for there. Doesn't seem like anything that I'm after right now. They're still just sticking with these same offers. A younger edge rusher. He's only 78 overall, 2 overall less, and then I get 2 extra draft picks out of it. Not really too blown away by any of these offers. So I mean, so far the Jordan Davis offer is probably the best that we've had. I am tempted to take this offer just simply because it is another D lineman, but I don't think we really need him. Let me go take a look at the roster and see if that's worth it. So it would be a 4 overall upgrade for our second string D tackle. And to put him next to Derek Brown, pretty good combo there. But is it worth giving up an 80 overall star edge rusher? I'm not too sure. Let me look. Let me go see how many more years Jordan Davis has under his contract. Because if he has a couple of more years, I might take that offer and then see if I can just swing another decent edge rusher with some draft picks. But let me just go check and see what his contract situation is looking like. All right, so he only has 1 year left on his contract. So to me, that's not worth it. I mean, we're just going to end up in the same position that we are in already. Next season, we're gonna have to, or I think 1 year left means he's just up at the end of this season. So that's not really worth it to me because we're just gonna end up having to sign him anyway, re-sign him anyway, and we're not really gonna have the cap space for that. So I'll probably decline those offers and I'll take a look again. I mean, I can look at that player that the Chiefs were offering. He was also had a star trait, so that's not too bad. I'll see where he's at. I think it was the Chiefs, right? Hold on, yeah, there he is. He's got 3 years left, and he's a 78 overall with a star trait, so that could be worth it. I mean, he's only a 1 mil cap hit. That might be worth it to give him up, to give up Jermaine Johnson for a guy who's under contract for an extra couple of years with a much smaller cap hit. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. It's only a 2 overall downgrade, but we're going to save ourselves a lot of money in cap space. So I think I'm going to accept that trade from the Chiefs. I'll take this guy off their hands, and we'll add him to the roster. We'll get an edge rusher, another edge rusher, only 2 overall less, but we get him under contract for an extra 2 years, and he does have the star development trait, so he will increase overall at a higher rate. So let's reorder our depth chart here, and then we can take a look at our roster. All right, I kind of like this. Not too bad. It does stink to lose out on 2 overall with our player, but he does have the star development trait, which is the same as Jermaine Johnson, so he will increase overall fairly quickly. So I'm not too worried about that. But at this point, I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot. We start the season 1-0, and we've filled up a big hole in our roster. Or not even a hole, but we landed a massive addition with Micah Parsons. So this is a huge win for us. I think we're in a really, really good position right now. Let's sim ahead another couple of weeks and see where we're at. All right, here we go. 2-0. Won our first 2 games of the season. We can upgrade our players, and then we'll take a look. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's see how we're looking up to this point of the season. Bryce Young, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Chuba Hubbard with 120 yards and no touchdowns. Jonathan Brooks with a touchdown on the season, 18 carries. And then Ted McMillan is our leading receiver right now. Garrett Wilson only 3 catches for 53 yards up to this point. Not ideal. It does seem like, I mean, I really wanted to go stick it out with Bryce, but it seems like he might not be developing at the rate that I need him to develop at. And I don't know at this point, going all in the season, I'm not sure if he's ready, but we are 2-0 at this point. 2 big wins against the Bucs and the Bengals. It's 2 good teams. Let's keep simming and let's see how we get to where we get to next week. Ooh, we get killed by the Saints, 30-0. That's not a good game for us. Divisional game too, and we're getting spanked like that on the road at New Orleans. Not ideal. I mean, they have Arch Manning, but an awful game from Bryce Young. I mean, this is probably one that we're just gonna have to put in the rear view and forget about. That's a rough loss for us. Hopefully, it's not a sign of things to come. Um, but man, I mean, that's a 30-0 divisional loss. That's not ideal. But at least it is early season, so we still have quite a long ways to go in this season. But we do have another tough matchup here against the Lions. Let's sim to next week and let's see how we fare on this one. All right, really hoping for a bounce back game here from Bryce, and we don't get it. It is a 23-20 loss. It is a closer game, so not too bad. Let's take a look and see how Bryce did. Bryce is still bottom of the league in passing yards. Not really sure if Bryce Young is going to be able to do it for us. We might need to do something at the quarterback position. He did have a better game, but we still need, with the receivers that he's got right now, we really do need some more out of him in the passing game. Not really looking. I mean, we got players ready to negotiate. Let's see. The only one we really want here is Patrick Queen. So let's see. We don't have like any cap space, so we might not be able to bring Patrick Queen back. We might have to end up trading him. Okay, yeah, I don't even have enough cap space to give him an offer. All right, so let's put Patrick Queen on the trade block. We're gonna have to trade him, unfortunately. It'll clear up some cap space for us, but we can upgrade our players, and then let's put Patrick Queen on the trade block and see how we're looking at that point. All right, Patrick Queen has successfully been added to the trade block. Let's sim to next week, see how we'd fare against the Bears, and let's see what kind of offers we get for Patrick Queen. We do beat the Bears, which is good. A 10-3, very low scoring, not entertaining at all win, but a win is a win. They don't ask how, they just ask how many. That's what we need. We need wins. We need to make the playoffs. We need to compete this year. I'm really... at this point, do I just try to swing a trade for a quarterback at this point? Maybe just go package Bryce Young and Patrick Queen and see if we can land a very good quarterback? Because I think, at this point, I do kind of want to develop and win the Super Bowl with Bryce Young, but at this point, it doesn't seem like he's really performing. Oh man, I'll give him another couple of weeks. If we get to the bye week and he's still struggling, maybe I'll start considering that. Because we're probably approaching the trade deadline here pretty soon. But let's jump to next week. Hopefully we can come out of this pretty good. Seemed the Steelers are 1-4, not a very good record. And we lose to the Steelers. Man, I don't know. I don't know if Bryce Young's going to help us here. I think we might have to move on at this point. We gave him the chance with this upgraded roster, and up to the midpoint of the season here, he's not performing. Let's check out our offers. Let's see what we got. Another receiver. That's a pretty good offer. Highsmith is a very good player, but he's not. He's also got a huge cap hit, a 17 mil cap hit. We can't really afford to take that on right now. A corner, Deebo Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Spillane. Only a 500K cap hit for Spillane. I don't know how long he's under contract for, but that would fill our Mike linebacker spot. I'm not really sure which offer I want to go with here. There are some pretty good offers, so I'm probably gonna think on a couple of these. I might take one. But let me think on these for a minute. All right, you know what? I think what I'm gonna do here, I think I'm gonna take Jacoby Myers because he is under contract for 3 more years. He's an 84 overall receiver. I think I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm gonna go just try to land a tight end in a trade and just try to give Bryce Young as many weapons as I can for this season. He is struggling, so I'm just going to try to load up around him and see what I can do. I'm just going to try to put him in the best position that I can right now. I'm going to stick with him. I'm going to ride it out. Let me try to see if I can land a good tight end in a trade here. All right, I'm going to try to land Tucker Kraft. He's got a decent contract, and he's only got a he's got a few years left on his contract, so I'm gonna try to land him. I'll see what I can cook up here. I know draft picks are not very valuable, so it's gonna probably take a lot. But let me mess with this and let me see if I can land him. All right, this might be enough. I mean, a second rounder. I feel like a second rounder is pretty good. I mean, yeah, if we throw in, probably have to throw in the third rounder. Let me see. What do I have right now? I have the fourth. Let me see if I throw in the fifth and the sixth, if that does it. Still declined. I mean, I do still have another, let me take these two picks out. I'll throw in the third rounder, and that should do it. Oops. Submit trade. There we go. All right. So we got our tight end on a cheap deal. Now, we do need a linebacker, too, because we just traded. Let me adjust my depth chart, or reorder my depth chart, and then I'll go take a look at our lineup, because we did just trade Patrick Queen, so I'm not sure what our hole at linebacker is looking like. Let me just go take a look at that and see if we need to fill it, or see if the player that we had as a backup is going to be good enough. All right, so our backup is a 74 overall. Not ideal. Definitely probably want somebody a little better than that, so let me see if I can make a trade here. Try to dump more draft picks out. Keep going with the draft pick dumping strategy. See if we can land a good linebacker who's under contract for another few years. All right, the trade market was not being too kind to me. Let me go ahead and check the free agent class. Let's see if there's any available Mike linebackers that we can add to the team who are higher overall. If not, I think I guess everybody's lower overall. I'm just going to roll with what I got then. I gave Bryce Young a couple of new weapons, a new tight end and a new wide receiver, so hopefully he can perform a little bit better. But I mean, either way, we do have these guys under contract for another couple of seasons. Oops. So let's sim to the bye week, and let's see how we're looking. All right. So we head into our week 8 bye week with a 3-4 record. Not ideal. It does not seem like. I mean, I don't think any of these guys are really worth re-signing. They're all pretty much depth guys. I will accept Leggett's option at the end of the season, but other than that, I mean, I think we just are what we are at this point. So let's just jump ahead and we'll keep simming. Trade deadline's probably already here. I don't think I'm really going to be able to trade anything anyway. Pretty much only have like late round picks left, which nobody's going to be interested in. But we really just need to rely on Bryce Young to wake up and have a great second half of the season for us, because we're not looking too hot right now, sitting 3-4 week 9. We definitely need to make a push here at the end of the season. All right, the good news for us is that we do have, even though we are continuing to lose and Bryce Young still does not look like he is going to be the future for us, we do still have all of our good players under contract for next season. So hopefully we sim the off season, because it does not look like this is going to be the year for us. So hopefully we sim the off season and Bryce Young increases overall pretty well. If not, we're definitely not going to be in a good position. But for now, I mean, I think I'm just going to upgrade players and sim out the rest of the season and see where we're at. Because for right now, it seems like unless we can really pick up steam here and start to go crazy here in the back half of the season, where it seems like where Super Bowl is not really in the cards for us this season, although we do get back-to-back wins, so that's not bad. But let's sim a couple more weeks and see where we're at. All right, a couple more weeks have been simmed, and we are currently sitting at 6-7. Not really in the best spot right now. If we want a chance to make the playoffs, we're probably, in all likelihood, going to have to win out the rest of the season, which does not look likely at this point. So a very, very, very disappointing season for us right now. And our championship window is looking like it is going to be closing soon. We kind of went the all-in approach here, and Bryce Young has not delivered for us up to this point. So we really got to hope that either next year or the year after that, we got to hope that he starts to deliver for us. Hopefully this offseason is a big step forward for him. We still have a lot of our key players under contract. for the next, at least the next season, probably the next 2 seasons. So hopefully he can develop and become the player that we need him to be. But as of right now, it seems to just be up and down, back and forth. Um, just win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. So hopefully he can be better than that next season. But it seems like this season at this point is a wash. I mean, unless we can win, like I said, unless we can win these next 3 games and squeak out a playoff spot, we'll see. All right, 8-7. We really need. I mean, I think at this point, take a look at the standings here. We go to NFC. We are just on the outside. Yeah, so we do. I mean, we're right there, though. We are right there. We're right there. I think. Actually, are we right there in our division? Last I looked, the Saints were like 6-1. So if they had a fall off, then that's going to be huge for us. Let's take a look. Everybody in our division is 8-7 right now. We're currently sitting at third in the division. I mean, if we can win out the rest of the season, I mean, this is probably the closest division race I've ever seen in my life. All 4 teams in the division have the same record going into the last 2 weeks of the season. So I guess our championship window, or at least our playoff window, is still open. I thought this season was a wash. I mean, I was looking at the division standings, and the Saints were 6-1 at one point. I thought for sure it was over. I mean, we have a really tough matchup here against the Ravens, but if we can win, this would be a huge win for us if we could pull it off. Don't think it'll happen, but one team from our division does have to make the playoffs, and we beat the Ravens 9-7 going into the last game of the season. That's a huge win for us. Let's upgrade our players and let's sim for the last game of the season against Arizona. I mean, if we can pull out this win against Arizona, we might be looking good to make the playoffs. Let's take a look at the standings. Let's take a look at our division, and let's see. Just between us, we're top of the division right now. It's between us and the Bucks. If we can win this last game of the season, we should be in. I'm not sure if we have the tiebreaker. We must have the tiebreaker over them right now, because we are ahead of them. So right now we are currently, I believe, can I even look at the playoff picture at this point? I think I can, right? Yeah, we can view the playoff picture. So right now we are in. We are the 4 seed right now in the playoffs. The Bucks are the 7 seed. So hopefully, I'm not sure what the rest of the NFC looks like, but let's just sim this next week. Let's sim the Cardinal game. If we can win this, we're in for sure. If we lose, it'll be a close race for the wild card spot. We did lose, and let's see, we did on the last game of the season. The loss made us miss out on the playoffs. Tampa Bay squeaks the final wild card spot, and we just narrowly missed the playoffs for this season. Oh, that is brutal. That is a one game. It all came down to one game. We had to win, and we were in, and we couldn't do it. We finished the season 9-8, and we just can't get over that hump. Let's take a look at the final stats for the season. Obviously, we know our record. We finished 9-8. Bryce Young is near the bottom of the league in pass yards, dead last in pass touchdowns, dead last in passer rating. Not ideal. I mean, I really wanted to try to build this team up around Bryce, but if he doesn't make a jump next year, we might have to move in a different direction. Let's take a look at our rushing stats. Chuba Hubbard averaging 3.9 yards a carry, 1,100 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And then our receiving stats, Jacoby Myers leading the team, our midseason addition, 895 yards and 6 touchdowns. Ted McMillan, 640 yards and 2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson, 594 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then our midseason addition, Tucker Kraft, our tight end, 577 yards and 1 touchdown. But man, that's a disappointing end to the season. I mean, I did not think we were even going to have a chance to make the playoffs. So for us to be able to be at that point, I mean, it's good. I mean, we are steadily increasing. We're definitely better than we were last season. I think last season we were 7-10, I think. Which I realized at the end of the last video while I was editing it. We were 7-10 at the end of last season, and we had the 7th pick. I didn't even realize that. So that must have been a crazy season as far as the records go for teams. If we are 7-10 and we had the 7th overall pick, I mean, that's kind of crazy to win 7 games and get the 7th pick. But anyway, disappointing loss. If we won, we would have been in. And, you know, in the NFL, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. But for now, We missed out. We're going to have to hopefully take it next year. Let's sim ahead to the Super Bowl. We're already out of it, so it doesn't matter. Let's take a look and see what the Super Bowl matchup is. Let's see who wins it, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll sim to next season, and we'll start our free agent pickups in the next video, and we'll start to build our team for next season. But we do have, oh man, in Tampa, our division rival, Tampa made the Super Bowl. Let's advance to next week. Let's sim the Super Bowl. Let's see who wins it. Hopefully, I don't even know. I don't want to root for anyone. I'm only rooting for my team at this point. The Chiefs take the win in the Super Bowl, 28-24 over Tampa Bay. Now we can just sim to next season, and then that'll be it for this video. We can upgrade all of our players, and then we can just sim to next season. This will be our staff week, so we'll just jump ahead to next season, and then in the next video we will start to build up our roster for our third season of this rebuild. But for now, I mean, we're just gonna move on. I will accept Legette's option because I did say I was gonna do that, so we'll accept the option. The rest of those guys are probably gonna have to go. But for now, I mean, we got 13.5 million in cap space, so we do have some room to maybe bring in a couple of free agents. Probably really only one good one if there are any available. But that'll all be in the next video. Man, disappointing finish of this season. 9-8 record. Missed the playoffs by one game, man. We just had to win and we were in. But man, we really need to see more from Bryce Young this year. Hopefully he can make that leap. If he can, I mean, we have a good enough team, man. We should be surefire playoff spot, probably division winner. But man, we really just need that leap. We really need that leap from Bryce Young for next season.